Oh, wow. You look amazing.
Thank you. I'm also wearing the wooden shoes.
The clogs,
The
wooden
clogs,
shoes. Yeah,
yes.
clog. In Dutch we say klompen.
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 Yeah.
May I know what this traditional clothing is
Yeah,
called?
it is one of the traditional dresses we have.
Yes.
And in the past, actually, every town or village had its own traditional dress.
Oh.
So I don't know whether this is from Gouda. You know Gouda cheese?
Gouda.
Gouda,
Oh.
Gouda cheese. The cheese from Gouda, the yellow Dutch typical
yeah.
cheese, is called Gouda. Gouda. They have a traditional dress, or I come from Scheveningen, they have traditional dress, or Volendam, or there are so many places where they have traditional dresses.
So each village is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And you could see that sometimes, for instance, the hat, so to say. I don't know about this one, but I think, but I'm not sure that this is maybe Volendam. Yeah.
I see.
And sometimes they have jewelry and special, I don't know, embroidery, and yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's like in Indonesia,
Yes.
right? You can see this person is from Batak neighborhood, or from Mindanao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On what occasions do the people usually wear this?
They don't.
Oh, they don't? Or maybe they used it
But
back then.
They do for very special occasions, like festive parties or touristic occasions. But some older ladies and men, they still do.
Oh.
Like in my neighborhood, I live near the sea in The Hague, in Scheveningen. The first time I went out, I bumped into two ladies. They were dressed like this,
Oh.
older ladies, right? And they were
Yeah.
just, so the old generation still sometimes do, or on
I
Sunday when they go to church, or yeah. But most people just, like you and me, normally.
Normal clothes.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So actually, in this segment, we've actually reached the closing segment. So this is just the fun discussion part.
Yeah.
I want to know more about the similarities of Indonesia and Dutch. Not in education, maybe like in language.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've heard that we actually have similar language.
Yeah. There are many, many words
Yes.
in Bahasa Indonesia
Yes.
which come from the Netherlands.
Yes.
You know them. I mean, there are so many. Of course, in food, pannenkoek, poffertje, bitterballen. But there are also words which people do not realize come from the Netherlands. Many parts of the car, for instance, knalpot, ban, velg, stier, rem, they're all Dutch, coming from Dutch.
Oh.
But then there are also words like expressions. I like the expression, maybe it's a bit old-fashioned. It's called in de hooi. You know in de hooi, like making love.
No, really?
All the people they say in de hooi. It's like making love, or jatuh jatuh cinta, or I don't know. But it comes from the Netherlands, and it literally means in de hooi. De hooi is in the at a farm. At a farm, there's always a lot of grass, and with your pacar, you end up in the grass. It's called.
I see.
Yeah, like the hay. It's hay actually. So there are many, many words in Bahasa Indonesia which come from the Netherlands, but there are also words in the Netherlands or in Dutch which come from Bahasa Indonesia.
Oh.
Yeah, like we have an expression dat is niet mijn pakaian. From pakaian. Yeah.
Pakaian.
But the meaning is it's not my business.
Oh.
Strange, right?
Yeah.
So the word pakaian, like it's not my pakaian, it's not my dress, not my clothes. So it means it's not my business.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and in the Netherlands, people think that the word rijsttafel, you know rijsttafel?
Rijsttafel?
Rijsttafel, you know?
I know wastafel.
Wastafel. Yeah. Okay. There's a word called rijsttafel. It's all the Indonesian food you can imagine. We eat that, but it's very strange because in Indonesia you don't eat everything at the same time. You pick a bit, right? You take some bonchis or some rendang, but you don't put everything on your plate unless you order nasi rames maybe.
Nasi padang?
Nasi padang, yeah. Anyway, so there also in food, there's a lot of influence up and down. And you also see Indonesian influence in Dutch architecture. There's in Amsterdam there are quite many examples of buildings which were developed, for instance, based on the designs in batik. So you see batik, what is it? The geometrical patterns, but you see it reflected in buildings in Amsterdam because they use bricks, and the bricks are built in such a way that they reflect the batik pattern.
Oh,
funny, right? So if you look at it, you say, hey, but this house must have been built by someone who lived in Indonesia because they were inspired by the Indonesian batik. Yeah.
I would really love to go to the Netherlands.
Yeah, you should go.
Yeah,
tell me when you go, okay?
I will. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I think
you want to study in the Netherlands?
Oh, I actually plan to apply
Yeah?
somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think we should also talk while enjoying our snack because I brought klappertaart. Yes, made by my aunt. So
Really?
yes, as we discussed earlier before the interview, I have descendants from the Dutch since my mom is from North Sulawesi.
From Manado?
Yeah, Manado. So actually my grandma's name is Dortje, a Dutch name.
Doortje?
Dortje?
Doortje.
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
My grandma's name is Dortje.
Doortje.
Yeah.
It's a very nice old-fashioned, for that generation, I think a very normal name.
And like
Doortje.
her cousin is named Lambert, like you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I heard that this is from the Dutch influence back then.
Yes and no, because I don't think in the Netherlands we have klappertaart. Oh, Bu, terima kasih, thank you.
Yes.
Wow. But I love klappertaart because I love kelapa.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna miss klapa.
Oh, that's if I'm back to the Netherlands, I will really miss klapa.
Yes.
And I will also miss pandan. You know, you put down pandan in everything here.
Yeah.
I like, in terms of food, I like kue basah.
Kue basah?
Yeah, it's my favorite food, all kind of kues.
Oh.
And you always see pandan and santan and gula Jawa atau gula merah, yeah?
Gula merah.
And so it's always the same.
Yeah.
I really like it. You can get it in the Netherlands, but not as fresh and as asli seperti di sini. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we dig in while talking?
Oh, can I help you?
Yes. Let's try. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Klappertaart is just a mixture of so many good.
Yeah, and in Holland we still have a lot of cinnamon. It all comes from Indonesia. And there are still Dutch companies which are very big in the spice trade. Can you imagine? It started 400 years ago, and still the spice trade, is partly done by Dutch companies. Yeah,
I see.
These historical ties are still visible until today.
Yes.
Let me try.
Yes.
Very good.
Good?
It's nice to see a Dutch lady eating Indonesian klappertaart.
Yes. This is really good. How about your favorite Indonesian food, sir?
Yeah, well, I told you about my sweet tooth, so I like kue basah, in general. And
How
otherwise,
about meal? Not really?
you know, I try not to eat too much meat, so I try to be vegetarian. So what I do like, for instance, is rendang made of nangka.
Oh, made
You
of
know
nangka.
that? You know, I like nangka, but there's a very good rendang. Normally rendang is made of meat, right? But you can make rendang based on nangka. It's really, really good. I like that. I like so much. And since I'm from Bogor and I lived in Bandung, I like oncom and, you know, makanan typical Sunda, makanan khas Sunda. And when I was in Bandung, I like the sweet, like bajigur. You know bajigur?
Bajigur? No, I haven't tried.
Ya, ini orang Jaksel nggak tahu. Bajigur and bandrek. That's typical Bandung. Bandung is cold. It's in the mountains.
Right.
Yeah. So bandrek is made of jahe. You know jahe? The what's it in English?
Yes.
Ginger.
Ginger, yeah.
Sweet ginger syrup, and bajigur is more based on, I think, on gula jawa and maybe some santan. Yeah,
I see.
but they drink it hot because it's cold in Bandung.
Yes.
So I love that. Now, and otherwise, all these snacks, and at the embassy we have snacks every time.
Indonesian snacks.
Indonesian snacks, but also a lot of, I don't know, Western snacks. Yeah.
I see.
The Indonesian people like to snack.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
But this one is also one of my favorites,
Yes.
klappertaart. Yeah.
So, since sadly I think you're gonna be leaving Indonesia soon, after 4 years here in Indonesia?
After 5 years.
5 years in Indonesia. May I know, as the last question, may I know what is your opinion about the Indonesian people? How
Well,
do you like it here?
yeah, it's hard to summarize in a few words, but I was born here, I lived here as a child, I lived here as a student. I now had the enormous privilege that I could work here as an ambassador.
Yes.
And of course, I've come to love the Indonesian people. Every day I still have language classes, so I still try to learn the language and understand this country, because the more you love it, also the more questions I have. Sometimes I hate it because, and I think, I always feel like Indonesian, but then also you get frustrated because of all the problems you see. So as a foreigner, of course, as a diplomat, you also have to always make sure that you keep sufficient distance and be objective in what you do and what you say and what you think. But it's hard because I really love the Indonesian people, and people here are so friendly, so hospitable, so generous, and also very respectful. I think these are really characteristics we could learn from. I really wish that people from the Netherlands could visit Indonesia, and every visitor I have here is surprised or is impressed by the generosity and the respectful way Indonesians treat them. So we can learn a lot, I think, from Indonesia.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful for that, and I hope I can also bring some of that culture back to my own country. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much also for being in my interview today. I had a really great time today.
Yeah.
So maybe, do you have any last message that you want to share to the young generation?
The first is, I love you in this outfit. That's really amazing, of course.
Thank you.
And again, also an example of how easygoing Indonesian people are and respectful, that you want to wear the Dutch outfit.
Of course.
This is exactly what I meant. But more in general, I think because many of your viewers are young people, I remember like half a year ago, we had 1.5 years ago, we had the Dutch Minister of Education here. He was a very inspiring person. And he gave a lecture to the UI, at the Universitas Indonesia in Depok. And he said, you guys, you're young, because they were all young students. Keep in mind 2 things. I want you to be, to use your imagination. Use your imagination. So think beyond what you see. Think beyond what you hear. Think beyond what you know. And to do that, to be able to use your imagination, you need to be curious. So be curious and use your imagination. And I like that advice. It means that you can go further than what you think you can. There are many things you don't know, right? Especially young people, but even at my age, there are so many things I don't know. So there's a whole world of things I could know or I could get to know. I want to be curious and I want to know more. So for that I need to go out and talk to people and read and listen, of course, and talk to people like you. Young people can teach me a lot. So that is my main advice. Be curious and use your imagination.
Wow, I think that's some great motivation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lambert. So I think we can learn a lot from Mr. Lambert as the ambassador of Netherlands here in Indonesia. Well, as we discussed earlier in the podcast, you mentioned that even though maybe you didn't really do that well in school, but you proved to become a successful person, because becoming an ambassador of especially Netherlands here in Indonesia, itu nggak main-main, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're representing a country here in Indonesia, and I think that's such a great honor, and I think that from this podcast, you'll inspire so many young people to work hard and reach their dreams. So thank you so much, sir, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!
Thank you. Bye.